Peggy 18.
There's one thing that Ubisoft has gotten pretty good at, John. Do you know what that is?
I don't.
It's coming into E3 and just blowing the doors off at the end of every conference that they do. It's just like, oh, Watch Dogs, and then year after it's like, nah, they won't do it. Division, and then this time it's like, oh, all these dancing games, what are they going to do? Like, here's Rainbow Six, it's back. Patriots has been, put on the shelf and told just never to even see the light of day because it looked a bit janky, press X to cry, I think, was the big thing at the time. It's just like, I don't want to do that. I want to play with my friends against some other guys on the other side of the world, and I want to use tactics and precision to whip their asses over Xbox Live. That is what I want to do.
That's the core of a good Rainbow Six game, is co-op gameplay, terrorist hunting, saving the hostages, and just generally being a fantastic FPS team. And that's exactly what Rainbow Six seems to be delivering this time around. And it's great to see this trailer going back to a very simple location, just a house. Team goes in, does the business. You're trying to plan your assault, get in there, and get everyone out safe.
Yeah, so we've got Rainbow Six Siege here, so there's very limited details, but we've got a few bits of info. So basically, you got 5 terrorists, you got 5 Rainbow Six operatives. You're going to get 3 minutes at the start of the game to plan your assault. So you don't get a super long amount of time like you did in the original Rainbow Six games to sort of intricately plan everything, but you get a little bit of time. Now, the operatives, they get the chance to scout out the house with little drones, see where the sort of terrorists are holding up, and they can also choose from a couple of rough insertion points, but really, this game is promoting sort of procedural damage, so you can go in and go loud from anywhere that you want. And while they're preparing this, the terrorists are basically boarding the house up, setting booby traps, getting ready to fend off the assault, because, and this is important, it is one shot, one kill. Back to old school Rainbow Six, punishing difficulty, and it's just increasing the tension across the board. You can't just go in and run and gun, especially when you're never safe here, at all. You're seeing these guys in a room. Usually, everyone would be looking at the door, waiting for someone stupid enough to pop their head round. Here, buildings are collapsing, you've got holes blowing up everywhere, and there's traps and all sorts of stuff. It's just ridiculous. It's exhausting me with how excited I am about this game.
Ubisoft seems to have got a great tradition going now of surprising us at the end of an E3 conference, and just look at this thing. It's just the damage in the room, as you say, this returning back to this classic hardcore Rainbow Six gameplay, which we thought would have been long forgotten and lost. It's almost like a little nostalgia trip at the same time as seeing such great futuristic modern gameplay mechanics.
I think you like me, John, are sort of legacy Xbox player, and back in 2004, the only thing you could really be playing was Rainbow Six Black Arrow or Halo 2, and Halo 2 was great for your sort of you're running and gunning and you're jumping everywhere, but if you actually wanted to play something that was a bit more considered, Rainbow Six was your only option, and games like this just don't exist anymore. And that's why it's so surprising to see Ubisoft even attempting it now. Ghost Recon's disappeared as well. It's just a different type of experience, one that's actually going to make you, and not force you, but invite you to work with your friends and work with strangers to really get the most out of this game. And I think it's the permadeath that does it.
Yeah, that's been a really big change in towards the back end of the last generation. The rise of permadeath as a thing that people really wanted in their games again, and it was obviously a counter to the kind of entertainment-driven side of where games were going. Which, to be fair, Rainbow Six was really part of. Rainbow Six Vegas was a lot of fun, but as the sequels came, and even that one to a degree, it was obvious that Ubisoft was more interested in making entertainment that everyone can enjoy. Basically, they wanted to reach the biggest number of people, which makes sense. You always want your games to be played by lots of people, but it was watering down the experience. So to see it come back, and to see games like, I guess, Dark Souls was a game that really kind of helped push the death as a mechanic and real difficulty back into the forefront of gaming. To see everyone now embracing that again and coming back and sort of saying, yeah, let's go back to that way of doing things, where it was just tough and we punished players, really made them fight for it. I think that's really interesting to see.
Yeah, and do you know what this is? This is doing something for me that I never really expected to see, because I'm really impressed with Advanced Warfighter and I'm really impressed with Battlefield Hardline. But I think this has shown how much that format has aged, and it hasn't aged well, because Hardline looks, for all of its openness, very, like, the moments seem very scripted. You know, buildings are still only coming down for the Levolution moments. COD is obviously super scripted as well still. And you've got something like this where, okay, you've got terrorists holed up in a basement. That's not a cutscene moment to get down there. You can just plant charges on the floor and just jump down there if you want to. Or, I guess, you know, you could rappel out of the window and breach in from the sides and the walls. Or, like, there's something truly innovative here, and I think it's just the openness in play, and just how it really is letting you play this FPS however you want to play it and however you want to approach it, which no matter how much Battlefield and Call of Duty wants to seem like it's doing it, it's not actually, you know, propagating that. It's not actually letting you do it in reality, and that for me is the most exciting thing about Rainbow Six Siege.
Definitely. It's also great to see the game essentially demoed here with the multiplayer experience rather than with a single player, which again was something that Rainbow Six was moved towards, and a lot of the Ubisoft games moved towards, was a concentration on the single player experience, which was the way for new players to be drawn in and to become familiar with the series. Throwing that out, here's the multiplayer, here's the thing that the hardcore gamers want to see. So again, fantastic to see them moving back in this direction.
Yeah, so Rainbow Six Siege, it is coming out holiday 2015, it's coming straight out to Xbox One, and it's just great to see Rainbow Six back where it belongs, straight at the top.